What's going on, everybody? Happy 4th of July. Let's check out the markets here. We actually have an uptrend on both the 3-hour and 1-hour chart that has pulled into a drop base rally right here on the 1-hour chart. You can clearly see that right in here. There's the 50 simple moving average. We've got a nice bounce off of that 50 simple. And so what are we expecting to happen here? Well, we're expecting this to start moving back up into an impulse phase, right? We've got a good amount of volume on the NASDAQ here, and we are coming down into a seventh wave. Here's the opening range here. Here's the previous day's opening range. So we are just below previous day's opening range, and the trend is starting to become extended on the on the 15-minute chart. Now we are cycling up on the 1 hour, and we've just hit some support as well as demand, right? Support on the 50 simple moving average and demand right here at this drop base rally. Right, so that's an imbalance between buyers and sellers right here. And you can see, this is yesterday's move. Beautiful, right? We locked in over $800, right? Let's go over to Topstep here. Topstep dashboard, $831.80. Okay, that's what we are heading for. $3,000 is the goal. And this is the evaluation process that I'm documenting and that we're going through right now. TrendCloud has become extended, right? TrendCloud is giving us the signal for an extended trend, and that's what we are watching right now, right? That's what we are watching. As far as our strategy goes, as far as the TrendCloud breakout strategy itself, we don't have the CCI on the 1-hour chart in play, right? Yesterday, we had CCI on both charts, which is what we look for, right? Above the zero line. In fact, it was above positive 100 on the 3-hour and above positive 200 on the 1-hour. And that was just a no-brainer. We took that entry on a beautiful rally-based rally on the 5-minute chart. Let's take a look at this on the 5-minute here. And you can see, let's open up. Oh, you can see, so we've fifth wave 6, 7, 8, and we're trying to produce a 9th wave. Perhaps we'll get a retest of this area down here, but I don't really like taking trades that way anymore. I don't like taking trades on the actual pullback into demand zones like this, right? I like having trend and momentum on my side when I do that. And we have it only on the 3-hour chart, right? So 3-hour chart pulling back into demand with strong upward momentum. So I really like this on the 3-hour chart, but you have to remember the 3-hour chart. This is like a cruise ship, right? And it's pulling into the harbor. It doesn't stop on a dime, right? You shut the engine and the weight and momentum keep moving this thing forward. And that's what's going on here right now. So we did run into some support, like I said, and a demand zone. So that's good. So this is looking like, so far, this is looking like the perfect opportunity to start getting in super early. And we would have to take a chance on that. Maybe we can take a chance with one contract on the micro NASDAQ, but it's definitely not our breakout strategy, right? So the breakout strategy requires us to have momentum and trend on the 3-hour and 1-hour chart, right? And we are just missing that one component. We're missing that one component. In fact, it just broke below negative 100, which indicates a strong downtrend. So until we start to break above the zero line here, we just don't have the components met pre-market. And we like to have all those components already met pre-market. Here's the 5-minute opening range that just formed. Let's see if we can get a breakout to the upside here on the 5-minute. Break above, close above, still have that strong momentum to the downside on that 1-hour chart. Slightly breaking below the 5-minute opening range, and we've got a whole 4 minutes left. Okay, break to the downside, right? Break to the downside. Very strong candle. and on the 5 minute breakout. Okay, so we'll see how this thing plays out. We're still in that corrective phase on the 3 hour chart. And you can see very clearly here. That's what I love about TrendCloud is that you've got every single time frame is very visual, right? We know exactly what's going on each time frame. That's what I needed personally in order to read price action accurately, which is why I built this the way I did. I said, I need to know if I'm in an uptrend. Well, we've got the trend cloud, and the trend cloud is green. We've got trend cloud signals that are firing off here. That lets me know I'm still in an uptrend until we get that crossover with that little black plus sign. Looks like this right there, right? Till we get that crossover, we are still in an uptrend, right? So uptrend on the 3 hour chart, pulling back into trend cloud. Inside of a demand zone, we're expecting some sort of move out of this area, right? But we're still in that correction phase again on the 3 hour. 1 hour chart, 1 hour chart is cycling up. Okay, we're in an uptrend. We just have a very strong momentum to the downside right now. There's a lot of selling going on. Let's go out to the 5 minute chart here. We're starting to retest this area, Okay. I don't want to go outside of my trend cloud breakout strategy. And today's 4th of July. I mean, I think I just want to make some observations. I don't want to risk anything on the prop trading account because that's real serious business and we take it very seriously, and I don't really want to gamble with that. And we're just retesting that area there. So far, those 5 minute trend cloud signals are holding. Those signals are holding. In fact, we're firing off another one right now. We don't know how far this extended trend is going to go. We just know it's extended. This is a rather bullish candle right here. Okay, if we break through that and close below it, that's going to lead me to believe that we're going to be going lower. Let me draw a little line right there. Looking the same, right? Looking the same here. Here's previous day's opening range on the Topstep account. Get my little horizontal line. Right, put it right there. There we go. Got to retest that area there. Let's see, what do we got here? We've got actually, down here, this is a 15-minute chart. We have a rally base rally. Got a rally base rally right here. And then below that, right? Let's box that out. Where's the box thingy? This? For crying out loud. Okay. I can't find the box tool. Brush. Huh. Oh, there we are. Okay. Another bullish candle forming there, right? Retesting that area. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Extended trend, right? Wow. Wow. Quite a retest. Wow, that's looking really good. That was a very good move out of that zone. Extended trend. The scary part is that on the 5 minute chart, it just has to go right to here and close, and it will recalculate. Does it recalculate and continue down? That's what we don't know. How far on the 15 minute? Okay, 15-minute chart, however, it's got to go at least all the way up here. So we could use this as a target. Interesting. We were right? That's definitely 15-minute candle is definitely looking quite bullish. Definitely looking quite bullish there. Getting the hook up on K, cycling up on the 1 hour. Another 3 minutes left on this candle here. My goodness. Hindsight, right? Oh, should have taken a chance on that. That's a little outside of our strategy. It makes sense though, right? It makes sense, right? Pulling into the 3 hour trend cloud into a demand zone with strong momentum on the 3 hour chart, right? 3 hour chart is looking good. That 15-minute chart was extended, looking like a very bullish candle on the 1 hour. I don't know. Maybe we may have a move here. Maybe we can take a short target. 1 minute left. Oh, 20 seconds left, actually. 20 seconds left here. Happy fourth. Happy fourth, Kazi. Extended trend. My goodness. Well, so far that's now we've got the 15-minute chart here. That's a very bullish candle. That's a very bullish candle. I wonder what's going to happen here. Drop down to the 5. Let's get rid of that. There's the opening range. Well, my goodness, my goodness. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I guess because it's the 4th of July and we don't have this we don't have CCI on the 1 hour chart. It is what it is, right? I'm seeing other things though. I'm seeing a bullish candle form. I'm seeing that we hit a demand zone. There are some good reasons to take this trade. All of the data that I gathered on this strategy revolved around CCI being above the zero line on both the 3 hour and 1 hour chart. So I can't really say that we have the conditions, right? We don't, right? We just don't have the conditions met. So if this candle does close above the opening range, that would be, a bonus. That would be a bonus. So only European market is trade. Yeah, that's what I read as well, Kazi. Yeah, American hedge funds not trading today, just the European market, I guess. But I was surprised to open this up and see that, that we had live data going right now. I don't like missing out on an opportunity, but I'm only going to take trades when, when we have our conditions met. I'm only going to take trades when we have our conditions met. Topstep will close at 12 p.m. Central. Yeah, it's going to be a short day anyway today. Got decent volume. Perhaps we won't see a very big move today. We'll just see some sideways action. 5-minute chart here is recalculating, but if we were going to take a chance on this, well, the chance is down here, right? That's where we would take a chance on that. Right down there in that zone. But it's fun to call the shots, right? And pick out what we see. The risk management part of all of this is really the when. Like when do we pull the trigger on this? How much information do we need to take a risk? A small risk, right? How much information do we need? Well, we said the 3-hour CCI, 1 hour CCI, and the 1 hour trend, right? That's the bare minimum. And then we would look for bonus components like cycling up. Like, are we entering the impulse phase of this? Are we forming a bullish candle on the opening range? Do we see the 5-minute breakout candle close outside of the opening range? Those are really the basic questions, right? Those are the basic questions. That's 3 original, cycle makes 4, bullish candle 5, and then breakout candle 6 on the 5-minute chart. So 3 components, three bare bones, right? Minimum components. And then we have 3 bonus components. The cycle, the candle that forms the opening range, and the 5-minute breakout candle. Does that candle close outside the opening range as well? And yesterday, we had the breakout and we saw an immediate close outside of the opening range to the upside. And we said, aha, something's about to go down. We had amazing readings yesterday. I mean, those are really the trades I want to focus on, take a chance on. Pre-market, when the pre-market's already established, let's open this chart up. Pre-market is already established, and we know exactly what we're looking for. Wow, very strong upward momentum on CCI on that 3-hour chart. Strong upward momentum on the 1-hour CCI. We're in an uptrend on both 3-hour and 1-hour, It's like now you really got something like, hey, let's take a chance. Let's take a chance on the breakout of the opening range here. But when you don't have those components met, the basic components, it definitely looks like it wants to break to the upside. I believe this is the previous day's high. this red line right here. No, that's previous months. That's the, yeah, that's the, oh my goodness. I don't even, I'm on the 3 hour chart. Go out to the daily. Previous month's high. Yeah, that's the previous month's high there on the daily chart that we're looking at. And it is about to break above the previous day's high there, right? Extended trend on that sixth wave. Didn't make the seventh wave, right? We're kind of just going sideways here now. So I'm on the East Coast, so I've got till 1 o'clock, I guess, right? 1 o'clock. I wish I took a chance, a small chance, right? At least one. I was like, let's maybe one contract here, take a chance, one contract on that. Could have gotten risk-free by now. And just let it do whatever it's going to do. But I am being super cautious now with the prop account. But the analysis was correct, right? Demand zone, extended trend. Wow. Like strong momentum on the 3 hour chart. The context of the 3 hour chart is inside TrendCloud in an uptrend. And you just have to assume that that breakout is going to take place. It did. There's that 15-minute chart. Wow, look at the action on that candle. It's moving quite rapidly there. Drop down to the 5. Little rally-based rally forming here on the 5. And we've got a lot of structure to clear. Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah, their platform is definitely pretty clear. I like it. I'm liking everything about it so far. I'm liking everything about it. Yes. It is definitely a nice little platform. I love that it's the way it's connected to TradingView so that you can eliminate a lot of downtime, because you know how to use it already. I don't know, man, this thing looks like really, really wants to break to the upside here. It's really hard for me to not pull the trigger on something. They do. Yeah, they do. I think they do want you to succeed. I think it makes sense, right? Hey, let's find some serious day traders who really are consistent, and you're going to make money. If you have thousands of day traders who are consistent on your team and, they're doing well, my God, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Kazi, how many accounts are you allowed to handle? 10? Is that it? Because if we're doing, go to the chat. 10. Okay. If we could use the copy trade and every trade we take, goes to those 10 accounts that we're maintaining, that's $60,000 a month. If we just shoot for, 6,000, I mean, that's what we're doing in competition. You can have as many accounts as you want, but copy trades only works on 10 accounts. Oh, I gotcha. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Well, that would get a bit I think 10 accounts is plenty for copy trade. I don't know, guys. If we get a retest into this area, maybe we take a chance on one micro contract. Maybe we take a chance on one micro contract if it does come back into here, because, oh, wow. Oh, son of a gun. Order filled. So we're going to take one. I got to get take a chance. One contract. What is that? $76. Yeah, we'll take a chance on that. And where's this going to? We may have a very strong move out of here. We might have a very strong move out of here. That's a very strong move out. Let me erase these lines here. Kind of worth $76. Hey, it's not the end of the world, right? $76. But I think we may get, look at that that bullish candle that was just made there. Go out to the 15. That's the rally-based rally on the 15-minute chart, right? It could go down to here, could go down to there. We need to survive this. Are we still? Yes. Okay, so we are still extended. That looks very good on the 15-minute chart. One contract. Let's see, let's see how far this thing can go. 15-minute, right? Pull down into there. There's the opening range. Got it right there. Where do we get in on? 228. Wait a second. 5 minutes. That's a very bullish candle there. Very bullish candle. That was a bit of a whipsaw. Hopefully that whipsaw is over. Wouldn't want to risk more than the opening range itself. 15, we're below the actual opening range itself. We really want to see that 5-minute candle now close, above. We want to see it close above. We've got the cycle, right? Not sure how far how long that's going to last. I don't know. My instinct was telling me, hey, take a shot at it. May not get another chance. Top of the hour. That's a very bullish 1 hour candle. And we are below that opening range there. Oh yeah, they'll definitely be happy. Yeah, they'll definitely be happy. I mean, we've got a great strategy here. We've got something that's valuable, and we've got to use it. We've got to use it. We got to be brave enough to use it when those components are met and really go for it. And outside of the strategy, like right now, look, we're being cautious. We're taking a small risk, We're up over $800 because we traded very well yesterday. We saw an opportunity right now. I was like, again, instincts, we'll see how this pans out. But why not? Why not copy trade everything that we do, into 10 accounts? That's $60,000 a month if we continue the way we're continuing. 4 months in a row during competition, we didn't lose a dime. We didn't lose a dime of that competition money. There's no reason why we can't do it in the prop account. So hopefully we survive this. We'll see what happens. 4th of July, that would be so nice. Be so nice to make a nice move on the 4th of July. Where's that opening range? Pretty much, right? Got to start seeing those 5-minute TrendCloud signals fail, and then we'll be in a really good situation. We just have to survive it. Rally-based rally, that's where I'm at. Right. Wish we got in a little lower. It's like, that's okay. That's okay. A little bit of a gamble here. Let's get another line on there so that we could, I believe it's right here. Let's just use that. There's that candle there. Got to break through this rally-based drop here. Bullish candle. That's what I'm seeing. Bullish candle. All the signs here, right? It's kind of like that. That's what I'm looking at right now. Come on, 5-minute candle. Okay. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Is that a good idea? It's only a good idea when it works, right? But golly, I don't know. My instinct just said this is looking like we've got the signals here. We'll see whether or not our timing was solid. Maybe we'll get into a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of a fight, and see if we can squeeze, a couple of $100 out of this.
Everything seems like it's down though. The CCI, the trend.
CCI on the 1 hour or the 3 hour and 1 hour are up, right? Here we've got 3 hour trend is up on the 3 hour, 1 hour trend is up. We're coming into that demand zone here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was looking at my 1 hour, one
Oh,
hour,
okay.
15 and 5.
Yo,
Uh,
right. On the right. Yep. So 3 hour and 1 hour are definitely up. We do have strong momentum on the 3 hour. Okay, so the context of this 3 hour, it crossed above 200. It looks like it just hit that 200, pulled back, didn't cross below the zero line. That's where we're at right now. Percent K is trying to cross back over.
so the CCI in the 1 hour is the one that's below one.
Exactly. That was the only one. The reason why I said, hey, I'm going to stay away from this. But being that it's we had those bullish candles form. We're inside of a demand zone. The trend on the low time frames extended. It's like we're almost there. It's like
Yeah.
we're kind of almost there. It's like extended trend, 15-minute into that 1 hour demand zone. Nice bullish candles forming. It's like let's try to take a shot. One contract, micro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's worth $76. I mean, I think it's
Euro, yeah, last night did a nice technical play.
really.
That was pretty good, yeah. But for some reason, I got stopped out. I have no idea why. I had my
Um,
stops below, like way below.
hmm,
Yeah, that was kind of weird. But
maybe
that
the
was a practice account though. So
interesting. Maybe maybe it was the type of order placed, like close out at the end of the day.
no, because this is like the beginning of the day.
Oh, and you got stopped out in the in the beginning of the day there.
Yeah, like at my 6 p.m. time.
Right. Well, we saw, I looked back at I looked back. I don't know why it stopped or it didn't stop me up, but remember when yesterday I placed that sell order and it erased it at first?
Yeah.
I looked back on the replay and it was a sell order. It was a seller. So
Huh.
that was strange. That was strange. So I don't know. And that was on the Topstep account as well. But yeah, so let's keep an eye on that. Let's keep an eye on
Yeah,
that.
sometimes if they have a lot of glitch like that, a lot of people complaining, they give you a free reset.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they will send you a code. So like it will like you're gonna like repurchase. Like you're gonna
Hmm.
click on reset and you just put the code and then it's free.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes
Eh,
like people like if they're fixing things or like fixing any bugs
Right.
and a lot of people have glitches and they lost money, then they will send you a free reset.
Oof. Oh man. Well, they're taking care of their customers, and that's what's great. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's really good. They're taking care of their customers. They seem to really want you to succeed and bring you onto, their team.
Right.
I'm excited about all of it. I think it's a great opportunity. If you're an advanced trader, I think this is a good partnership.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a good partnership there. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, there's the 5 minute, two bullish candle, well, two upward candles there, trying to break above that 5 minute 50 simple moving average. We really want to start seeing that nice break above, close above. 4th of July, that would be so nice to watch this thing sort of climb above. Where's our ADR checkpoints? It's probably, oh my God, it's probably like way out of range. ADR is like nowhere to be found. Oh my God. ADR is all the way up there. That would be amazing. I don't know if that's going to happen, but
Look at
definitely
that. Look at that
eh,
NQ from last night at 6:45. You see that crossover and then the signal came? That is still going.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. You're talking about from previous days opening range. It
Yeah,
actually pulled
yesterday, yeah.
back. This is
Yesterday at
this is
6:45.
this is like where I wanted to get in yesterday. Like when I was saying, I wish, I just got in at that point, and then it ended up, breaking out to the upside, gave us a little retest to that rally base rally. But this is where I wanted to get in yesterday. So it's too bad. I wonder if when you become a funded trader on Topstep, if they'll let you hold overnight.
No, they don't.
They
It's a day
don't,
trade.
huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They don't
Yeah.
want you to swing trade or anything like that. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Okay.
So they clear
Um,
you know how they have 2 hours you can't trade? So they clear their books at that time. Everybody is flattened out and then
okay.
yeah.
I gotcha. All right. Well, hey, I mean, you've been doing that anyway, right? In competition, I think maybe one time out of the four competitions, maybe once we held overnight, I think. So, we scale out of the position, we take the day trade, and yeah, God, we ended up, eight with, almost 8 grand last competition. So,
Yeah,
I don't, I
that
don't,
was pretty good.
man, I don't see it being any different. I don't see it being any different with this prop trading firm.
Yeah, it's the same
So,
thing. But
uh,
what I was saying is if you take a look at the 5 p.m. Pacific yesterday, then you will see how that it made the cross and then it had the second trend cloud signal and then boom, but it's on the 5 minute.
and yesterday.
Yeah, Thursday, right there, right there. You see the cross?
Oh, wow. Yeah, and that's what we were talking about with gold, right?
Yeah, so cross and then you have that trend cloud signal and you
The
put a
very
stop
first
loss
one.
above that. Yeah, and then imagine this morning you'll have
Oh man. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty sweet. I wonder what that looks like. Let's put a line.
you have to do the
Cycle.
1 hour and 15 minute though on the other.
Oh, right, 5, and then
15 in the middle.
right, 15, and then 1 hour here, and there it is. Yeah. And there it is. There's your readings right there. There's the readings right there. There's the crossover, CCI cycling down, right? It's not below yet, but by the time it gets to that crossover, it is below, at least on the 1 hour there. Yeah, those trend cloud signals are starting to fire off. That gives you the best one, and that's the first touch. That's the first touch back. Yeah, that's a great observation, man. That was a great observation. And it works beautifully on gold too with that
Yeah.
those time frames there.
Yeah, so when all conditions are met and then you have that trend code signal, it's really good.
Yeah,
And even it makes it
yeah.
even more powerful if it's coming from a zone.
Right. If you're just coming out of a supply zone,
Yeah.
yeah, very good stuff, man. It's great to learn something and then you put your own spin on it, kind of adjust things, try different time frames, and you just end if you put the time in, you end up creating some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
the
man,
problem is
that's
most
that's
of these
awesome.
signals is coming in the middle of the night when you're all sleeping. So I wish
Right.
there was
Exactly. I know. So there's got to be some way of
to catch
automating
that.
that.
Yeah.
Some way of automating that. There's a couple of companies that do it. I forgot the name, but there's a couple of companies that do that, and you use a web hook. There's some type of web hook that you use, and MetaTrader, I believe it's on MetaTrader. And if
And
you
now
get
you
a
can use the API to connect to Topstep. So
that's right. I was looking at that yesterday, the API, and I was like, wow, I wonder how that works. Like, what can you do with that API? So
yeah.
we'll find out. I mean, we're on this journey together. So we'll see. Someone will find out. I definitely want to start communicating with these guys at Top Step and asking questions, and whenever they have some kind of webinar or seminar or something, I think it would be good to join in on that and kind of
Right.
ask questions like, hey,
Yep.
what kind of partnerships do you guys have? Like, how do we use the API? What can we create with that? And that'd be really interesting. I know some of these algorithmic companies, they will use a separate server, and you go and you put everything on a separate server that runs 24/7, so that if your computer shuts off, it doesn't shut everything down. So I learned that much. That was pretty interesting. But that stuff is all written in Python. Well, we're still fighting here, man. We're still fighting to get to the top of this thing. We want to break through. Obviously, we want to break through. Want to break through this, and it all has to go down. All has to go down for 1 o'clock my time. 12 p.m. Oh, yep, here we go. Here we go. Tally ho. Come on. Break above, close above. That's what we need on that 5 minute. Boy, if this thing decides to take a little bit of a run, we're in a really good position. We're in a really good spot. Gotta break on out of there. Got to break on out of there. To break on through to the other side, baby. Need to break above, close above there. Forming a nice rally base rally on the 5 minute chart. Look at that 1 hour. I'm on the 15 minute. I got a little excited there. 1 hour, 3 hour, 3 hour candle is starting to form, right? 3 hour bullish candle there starting to form. 5 minute breaking out finally. Our instincts were correct so far, right? Very nice. Really liking that. 30 seconds, 20 seconds left. We need to break through that previous month's high, close above that thing, and that'd be a really nice rally base rally. We want to break some structure there. 5 seconds. Come on. 4, 3, 2, 1. And there we go. We got that candle. 5 minute candle. Let's break above that mess. Let's break above all that mess. We're outside of the opening range here, and we're protected by this rally base rally. Let's get another nice oh, guys, look at that. Look at that. That was a very strong pop out of there. Let's start taking a look at where we want to target. We got to get past this. And how far is this going to go? Well, we don't know. Risk-free trade, right? Not going to risk a dime anymore. Maintain that. Can we pick a target here? Can we pick a target? Body of that candle there? Clue. I got no clue. All I know is risk-free is the way to go. And you just take what the market gives you. You just got to take what the market gives you. 2 minutes left on that 5 minute candle, breaking above all this mess here. And we don't want any kind of whipsaw, and we're just going to take one shot at it. But just watching those candles and reading price action, very nice. Very, very nice. 40 seconds. Come on. 10 seconds. To beautiful, break above, close above, that consolidation. And now we want the follow through. We want the follow through. Right. And on something like this, look, I'm not gonna risk anything. Go risk free. I'm basically at break even right now, right? But I'm not going to risk the profit that I made yesterday. Especially on a holiday. Whoops, pulling into. So now we've got to get through that supply zone there. Let's go out to the 15. So 15-minute is, we want to see the 15-minute. We've got to see it break through that trend cloud. Right? We want to break through the trend cloud, and we want to close above the 50 simple moving average. And the 50 simple moving average, what is that? 22,958. Where's my, oh, it's all the way up there. Okay. Not sure how far this is going to go, right? It's looking good, though. It's looking good. I think we just got to let it go as far as it wants to go, all the way until 1 o'clock, right? And just kind of trail this thing. Contract. Hindsight, right? Now you're like, oh, why didn't I take 2 contracts? Could have scaled out. Didn't want to risk it, man. So we'll see if we can get through this here. But we were right. I'm really happy about getting in on that demand zone. I'm very happy about getting in on that demand zone. I don't know. I mean, extended trend in a low time frame, extended trend pulling into a higher time frame demand zone. I mean, that's what you look for, right? You can start to see CCI on that 1 hour starting to hook up. That's what we want to see. Right? That's what we want to see. Golly, beautiful. Firing off a trend cloud signal on the 3-hour chart. Beautiful. Ooh, beautiful, guys. Beautiful. Look at this. Beautiful. Let's keep it going. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes on that candle. Getting a retest. We want to see that CCI cross above the 0 line. This is all looking very good. Where did I got in 22,910. It's a little different on my chart here. Right in the middle. I see. Okay. Yeah, so there's the demand zone. That's not bad. I mean, that's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. That's a pretty darn good entry. Would have been nice to be in right here at the top of the body of that candle to avoid any shallow type of retest, but it is what it is, right? Here's that 1 hour chart. This is what we're looking at on the 1 hour chart here. Perhaps we retest that area. Or do we just go for money target? Beautiful. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Another 15 minutes left on that 1 hour candle. When that 1 hour candle closes, when this 1 hour candle here closes, CCI is going to shift, and it's going to look like it's going to shift above the 0 line. I bet you we'll get a shift above the 0 line.
I'm in with you right now.
Oh, nice. All right. 40 seconds left on this 15-minute candle. 5 minute. 4, 3, 2, 1. Doji. Let's see a nice pop to the upside.
I just took 1 contract, like $89 risk, not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. In this type of situation, Okay, so it's understandable, right? We're right at that 15-minute trend cloud. It's got to downward move has to fail, right? And it looks like it's wanting to do that. We've got this supply zone. We're trying to get through that. 1 hour candle is looking good. My God, 13 minutes. It feels like forever. I love that we've got a 3 hour TrendCloud signal firing off. That 1 hour candle is looking very good. That is the story right there.
Also, another thing is if you don't close your trade by the time they close, they will automatically flatten you out. But
Do they charge you for that?
no, they don't charge you, and they don't mind you doing that, but they want you to practice to make sure
Ah,
you close because when you have express funded account, they won't
right.
fatten you out, and then your account's gonna get closed if you keep doing it over and over. So they want
Okay.
you to practice with the combine, but you don't get any penalty for not closing it out for combine, but they want you to be in the habit
Sure.
of doing
Yeah.
that.
No, that makes sense. I see that that is what they really want. They want to see, are they following a strategy? Are they being consistent? Are they taking wild trades? They're going to be looking at all of that. It's all an evaluation process. And if you keep it tight from the beginning and you really build that relationship with them, hey, this guy, he followed the rules, they don't seem to over leverage themselves. These are all good things because we want to, we want to get funded and we want to hold multiple accounts and just keep doing what we're doing with that copy trader. I think the copy trader is going to be the key to to big money. Even if you can just double, even if you had just two accounts, like,
Yeah, that's what I'm shooting for, my two accounts. So if I can make at least 12 grand a month, that would be pretty
sure.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be pretty nice.
And I
So I
can put
think,
that in my account, save it, build it up in my
right.
account. So when I get to maybe 100,000, then I can do it myself.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
Mm.
take that money, take it out, put it into your own account and build up that cushion, and you'll know how much money you need to survive any kind of drawdown. It just takes experience to know that. And that's what you do. So yeah, putting some of it into your own account, taking some of it, putting into a buy and hold account, like on an M1 or something like that,
Yeah.
and just having multiple ways to hold on to it and have it work for you, because it does take a good amount of energy, so if you can build up your trading account to a certain point where maybe you do it for a year consistently, holy cow. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a ton of money, and then you go buy a small piece of rental, you go buy a small rental property, and start to
Oh, yeah, that's my
diversify
plan.
like that.
I want to, just trading and real estate. That's what I want to do. I
Oh
don't.
yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. I think it's fun too. I think it's a lot of fun, and and you'll learn about it. I was a landlord once, and it wasn't too bad because I chose the person who was going to live in the property, and I didn't have a problem. I think I would like to look for a house that's near a college, and you have a constant influx of people, and they're going to be there for at least a year, right?
Yeah.
You
My
kind
my
of do it that
realtor,
way.
my realtor who sold me in my townhouse, he has 10 houses himself.
Wow.
And he has a nurse and he only works like 2 days a week and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. If you have the capital, and then you have a real estate person or an attorney or a CPA that knows how to handle creative financing, because once you have one house, one rental property, and then you've got another rental property, there's some creative financing that you can do,
Right,
uh,
right.
as far as taxes and stuff.
I also like the little strip malls. Like, you have like a five or six like businesses in a little like a shopping
Oh,
center.
oh
Like and
yeah,
you have
yeah,
a laundromat and then you have like a hair salon
yep,
and those
yep,
things are consistent, yeah.
yeah. Commercial real estate, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I was talking to a guy in Fort Lauderdale. There's a lot of retired, successful dudes in Fort Lauderdale, And this one guy, he was telling me that he invested, just like real estate, was just like buying a house, a cell phone tower. And I was like, wow, that's so smart. Like, cell phone tower. And then you own the cell phone tower and then you rent it out to, Verizon and whoever. So that's another big
Yeah.
big money maker. I would love to. And I've
So
got his
Los
number
Angeles
too.
right now, our last mayor when he left,
Yeah.
he let all like pass all ADUs. Like they don't have much. It doesn't take much to get licensed for ADUs, and if you have like a house and then you want to make like an ADUs,
What's an ADU? What is
that's
that?
it's called accessory dwelling unit. So you can make another like if you have a garage, you can turn it into another house.
Oh, you
Or
can
if you
turn it
have
in.
like, some space in the back, you can make another like one bedroom or two bedroom. It
Wow.
it doesn't really cost that much. It's like only like 50,000, 60,000 to make like one bedroom, one bath.
Right.
So before it was kind of hard to get the license for, but now that mayor before he left,
The,
he made it like really easy
wow.
because of
Interesting. Yeah.
housing crisis here in LA. That's why.
Yes. And I heard that there was a lot of red tape with a lot of red tape, a lot of paperwork, and it takes forever to get something done as far as, or maybe that's in a different area. They were talking about the area that burnt down, Palisades.
Yeah,
That
those
burnt.
areas, yeah. But yeah, like in overall, like the ADU is really easy to get right now.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Pretty useful. Pretty useful. Yeah, so I think that's a great option. So
Yeah,
that's
that's what I
like
want to do.
that
Like
would be your first
once I
op for
get this thing running.
50,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, where the hell else are you going to get a house for 50,000? I mean,
Right, exactly.
you get the garage or whatever, or you do something like that, a small, studio apartment or whatever. Holy cow. It's income and you're right there to collect the rent, You
Right,
get somebody
exactly.
nice.
Or you can give it to the management company. They only charge like 7%, 8%. So you're totally hands-free.
Right, yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Once
Yeah,
you
that's
once
my
you
plan.
have
So I want to focus on trading and real estate. That's it. And then
yeah,
call it a day.
and call it a day. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
once I can
like
get about, like 10 to 15 units, that will
right.
replace my income and then I can,
That's
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
That's everything. I think it's exciting. I grew up watching, remember Melrose Place?
Yeah, yeah,
I used to love like, man, that's so cool. It'd be so cool to own an apartment like that. And
yeah.
you live in like the downstairs unit or something, and then you rent out the other units. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, my friend right now, he bought like a house that has like two other renters, like two other places, and he doesn't even have to pay the mortgage himself. It pays for itself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way
Yeah.
to do it. I had a friend in Atlanta that did that. He bought a house, three rented out, I think, two of the rooms. And during the crash, this is like back in 2009, he had the cash on him, to purchase three or four houses or whatever. And he just kept doing it and he got good at it. It's just like this, it takes time to learn, but once you do and you know the ropes and you've got your little team together, yeah, you've got yourself a nice business that's got a lot of upside,
Right,
a
right,
lot of upside
exactly.
and equity.
Yeah, over time it's really good. But
Yeah,
eventually, initially it might not be, but over time it's really good.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Little retest of that area, which is expected. Shallow retest of that opening range. It's still not even in the opening range. Where's my, that's really the opening range there. We're staying above that previous month's high. That's what we want. Another 3 minutes left. We want to stay above that. It's understandable if we get a shallow retest here, but it looks like we already got it, right? Here's your double bottom. And now we have to
Yeah.
start to break through that piece there. And then we should be in good shape. It's going to take a little bit of time here. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left on that 1 hour candle. It's definitely going to um it's definitely I think it's definitely going to close bullish, and then we should get a nice little pop here. It wants to cross back above. It wants to cross above that. But you can see how CCI on the 1 hour chart really plays an important role, right? Look at it's is not like yesterday, right? I mean, it's moving kind of slow. It is a holiday. It's still kind of early, moving a little slow. Not the same type of parabolic movement we saw yesterday when 1 hour CCI was above positive 100, right? So
Right.
makes so it's just good to recognize that. And we'll let this thing go as far as it's going to go. Got another minute and a half. Come on. Let's go. Keep moving up. Stay above that previous month's high. There you go. That's what we want. That's what we want. Is that 9:30 candle? Hopefully we can survive this. I'm right below that little rally base rally there. If it pulls back deep, and we kind of wasted, not wasted, but we had a good conversation. But it's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's a solid hour just to make $3.50. It's like, dang,
Well, you
there
made
we
it
go.
yesterday though. Well, you're at
Yeah,
22. A stop loss is at 20.
I can't remember.
No,
I
no,
don't
the
remember.
right now it's
Oh,
22,912.50, right?
yes. Yeah, that's where my stop loss is right now. That's just above, just above.
But
Look
that
at
sounds about
this.
right. Oh yeah. I mean that's $30 for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But look at this. Look at this. There's that shallow retest. And we've got some action on this 5-minute candle here.
Oh, you changed the colors on this one too, huh? To white and oh, I like that.
I did a darkish gray background. So this is like a darkish gray. What did I do? It's the third on the grayscale background. It's the third one.
Okay.
And
Oh, the third one. Oh, okay.
yeah, third one on the white scale there. And then on the symbols, just regular, the first white, and then
The
everything
first one
else
is
black.
white, right? And everything else
Yeah.
is black.
Yep. Yep.
There you go. Oh
And
yeah,
it
that's the
made a
regular one. Okay, cool.
yeah, it
That
made a
looks pretty good.
nice yeah, it made a nice comfortable looking, chart. Doesn't like blast your eyes being that you look at
I
this
know.
for so long. And there's no bias too, like, oh, green candle, you
Yeah, I
know.
don't like that. I always
Yeah.
take off the green candles.
Yeah, yeah. It looks cool, like you're making them different color. I'm so used to looking at the black and white candles, my brain is kind of trained for black and white candles.
Yeah, mine too, since I started using TrendCloud.
Yeah, really? That's awesome, man. Yeah, I tell you, who did I learn that from? Learned the black and white candles from this guy, David Blair. David Blair. He's got a company. I don't know if he's still around, but he's got a company. It was called the Crosshairs Trader.
Hmm.
Crosshairs Trader. And that's how I learned. I was like, man, I really like this black and white candle thing he's got going on here. He does a lot of options,
Oh, okay.
and he does trend lines. He uses trend lines for a lot of his and on the higher time frames too. Like he uses the weekly and the daily as part of his system, and he draws out trend lines on the weekly and daily. And when they start to do like this consolidation and the breakout, he draws a box on the consolidation and then takes the trade
Okay. Hmm.
on the breakout of the daily, right? So he only uses weekly and daily. Pretty interesting. He's an interesting
Yeah.
guy. Okay, kind of still on that retest. It's okay as long as we kind of consolidate at the top of this thing and then start to move back up. Hope we don't get any whipsaw. We never know. We don't know what we're gonna get here. All we know is this has to stay shallow. I like that. I like that movement. I like that type of movement. Kind of starts breaking to the upside there. Crossed back above. 1 hour is crossed above the zero line. See, we did make a nice move. Top of the hour. 11 o'clock. Understandable if we get a little bit of a retest, but we want to stay above that previous month's high and start breaking through. We're getting there. We're climbing.
Look at that. It's hooking back up on the 3 hour.
Yes, yeah, 3 hour. 3 hours starting to hook. The percent K is starting to hook back up over percent D. And I think because we're in a holiday or whatever,
Yeah, that's why. Otherwise, I by now probably would have a like nice pop up.
yeah, it's kind of moving kind of slow right now. Moving kind of slow. Got to manage this thing. I like the way it's looking good. I don't see anything ridiculous happening. It's looking like it's trying to break out to the upside there to continue that upward move and get the crossover on the 15-minute. You can
Yeah.
really see, you can see what's going on that 5-minute chart there. Come on, make
It's kind
another,
of basing right now in inside that first pop candle.
yeah, yeah, it's kind of basing right now, doing a little sideways consolidation. Want that to make another move up and yeah, and that'll be it. All I want to do is move right underneath that, but I can't until we get a break above here. We need to make another break above. You want to survive this?
I've noticed, even with NQ and also the gold, the 1 hour zones are like really holds.
Yeah. Yep. 1 hour hold. 1 hour's definitely it definitely holds very nicely.
There's actually, I found this on YouTube. There's this one, it's like a husband and wife team that they day trade.
Oh, really?
And she's like, all she focuses on is the 1 hour, but all on obviously with the, like, I mean, like a higher time frame bias. But
Right.
she's like, oh, I used to trade the 1 minute and 5 minute, and I always used to lose money and this and this and that. And then finally, I found that 1 hour is like my best. And then all she focuses on the husband is like all they focus on is the 1 hour.
Wow. Supply and demand?
Supply demand, opening range, they have all these different
Oh,
things, yeah,
okay.
for the 1 hour.
Okay. And I think isn't it interesting how on Topstep they have a whole channel like just dedicated to NASDAQ?
Yeah,
Like that's pretty significant. That's a good observation. So they're seeing the value of, focusing on the NASDAQ as well, just because of the way it trends.
that's what I figured. That guy, John Hoagland or Hogue, they call him.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
he's always he only trades the Nasdaq, and I think now he's kind of getting into gold a little bit.
Ah, okay.
But he
All right.
said for the last 30 years he's been trading Nasdaq.
Wow. Wow. Yeah,
Even at the pits, he used to trade Nasdaq
wow. Yeah,
futures.
that's
Yeah,
that's pretty significant. That's pretty
yeah.
significant.
He's like the expert on Nasdaq. Like he does all this. Like he goes to the government website and looks at the contract that's been traded, and how much,
ah,
like the actual like daily contracts and all, like the weekly contracts. He has like
right.
everything that he can think of on Nasdaq, like the
Wow.
news, the like he's like everything, like specialist.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I've been jumping in there to their Top Step TV and watching those guys and just trying to pick out what they're doing, try to see what they're doing.
But he's all about that market profile. I mean, I tried to understand it, but it seems like really difficult. I don't know what he's looking at.
The market profile, is that it's like it's on the side and it's like these bars that come out
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
side.
those market profile charts.
I've heard it called market depth, market profile, market breadth.
Yeah, something it's kind of like takes volume and
It's volume based,
so it's
yeah.
kind of like it's like the auction process. It's like where the auction, like highest of the auction went and where the low of the auction went, and kind of like where the price majority of the time where the price spend.
Right.
But still, it's based on the previous day. It's not giving you like live right now. You see what I mean?
Ah, interesting.
And nothing
Okay.
is gonna is to get a live like that. You're gonna need the order book, and we're not gonna have access to the order book ever. You know.
Right, right, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Even the big hedge funds don't have access to order books.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like anything else, you know. I don't think one indicator works best. I think if you have to look at it from another angle, you have all
Right.
these different umpires. So one indicator is really not really the best way to make a decision. It's it's
Right.
it's
Right.
it's you got to put together in kind of a system type of a thing, and that's just one little, that's a piece of information that could be put with something else.
The
I think
crystal ball is still whatever Mark
yeah,
Douglas and Larry Hite says. Those 20
yeah,
trades. That's your crystal ball right there.
yeah, they definitely, those are two great books, man.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, they said, if you have, like, he doesn't know what's going to happen in individual trades, but he said, if you give me a book of 20, 30 trades, I'll tell you what's going to happen.
yeah, yep. Yeah, 20 or 30 trades, that's all you need to really get some good data. And now that we have AI, holy cow.
Yeah.
You can really research a lot of stuff very, very quickly. Something that would take you, weeks maybe, to
Right.
something that would take weeks to do. Well, this thing is starting to go sideways, a little bit of a pullback here, and it's kind of expected. Boy, when I saw this whip here, this like whoosh, I was like, oh man, something big is gonna happen, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure. Well, I may manage this trade for a little bit longer, but if the video goes over 2 hours, I'm not able to edit it properly. Then it's a pain in the ass to edit. So doesn't look like a big one today, but at least it's something. At least it's something,
Yeah.
and that's about it. I think I'm just gonna leave that alone and see what it does. Whatever it does, it does.
Okay, sounds good. So I'll see
Man,
you on
see you on
Monday.
Monday, I guess, right?
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
All
Well, good
right,
job.
take care.
Have a great 4th of July, everybody.
Okay, you too.
Later.